So the main riff is played with 2-finger power chords. What we're going to do is put your first finger on fret 8 of the A string. And then you're going to put your third finger on fret 10 of the D string. That's going to give us this first power chord, an F power chord. But to play this accurately, you're going to want to mute all of the other strings as well, really. So you can see my thumb is touching that low E string. If you want, you can use the tip of your first finger to mute that, if that's easier. And then I'm making sure I'm lightly touching the top 3 strings to make sure they're muted as well. Okay, so only the A and D strings are ringing through. That's going to allow us to strum properly without hearing those open strings ring out. Now, what we're going to do to start with is actually do a mute. When you see the X's on the tab, that means you just hit the strings muted. So you relax your fingers for that. But as soon as you've done that mute, you're going to go down, down on the F power chord. And then you're going to relax your fingers again and go down, up. 2 more mutes there. So this first little bit is this. Okay, so down, 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 up. All right. Now, as soon as you've done that, you then bring that power chord, bring those 2 fingers back 2 frets. So now you're on 6 and 8. And you're going to do 3 strums, 3 down strums. And then another down, up, muted, relaxing those fingers. So it's this. Now let's put it all together so far, starting with the mute. Okay, I'll do that one more time and notice, when I'm doing the mutes after the first chord, I'm also moving my fingers. I'm using that mute to move my fingers into position. All right? But once I've done that, I'm now going to go all the way up to fret 11. Again, keeping that formation called a power chord. First finger's now going to be on fret 11. Third finger on fret 13 of the D string. And you hit that twice. All right? So it's going to be... As soon as you've done that, you move those 2 fingers up 2 frets again. So you're on 13 and 15. And then finally, you go up to the 15th and 17th fret. So you've got this. Alright, so 2 strums here on the 11. 1 on 13, 1 on 15. And then when you've done that, you're going to do 3 extra strums on this C power chord. Like that. So if I go from the 11 again, we've got this. Alright, and then why don't I put it all together? I'm going to keep it slow and listen out for those mutes. When it comes to repeating it, there's no gap whatsoever. As soon as you've done those last 3 strums, you do the mute again, and you bring it back. And that is the main riff throughout the intro and all of the verses. Then when the chorus kicks in, it sounds like there's a very loud and distorted guitar in the studio version. But if you listen carefully, it's actually the bass guitar that has a lot of distortion on it. And all the electric guitar is doing is playing a G sharp note over and over again like this. Okay, a lot of people don't realise that bit, but yeah, literally all Graham Coxon is doing is playing a G sharp and just adds to the overall sound of it. But that main loud part, loud distorted part is a bass. However, when you're playing it live, and I'm pretty sure when Blur play it live, Graham Coxon will just stick with the power chords. Probably put a bit more distortion on the sound. And also switch to 3-finger power chords, just to give it that bigger sound. So we're going to play exactly the same riff, but why not add your little finger onto the... So in the case of this F power chord, on the 10th fret of the G string. So we've got that slightly bigger sound. So now it's going to be like this. Okay, so it gives it that slightly bigger sound. If you want to make it even bigger, what you could do is bar your first finger. So keep these two third and fourth where they are. But bar your first finger across the bottom too. That'll add a fifth just to give it an even chunkier sound. And I believe Graham Coxon, utilises that a lot as well. So when it kicks in, it does that a few times, but then you'll hear there's a few other chords in the chorus. Let's stick with that 3-finger power chord, but we're going for a lower F now, starting on the 1st fret of the low E string, and then your 3rd finger is going to go on the 3rd fret of the A string, and your 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. And this is the shape we're keeping for these next 3 chords, because it goes F, okay, 8 strums there, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then move that whole shape up, so your first finger's on the 4th fret, on the A flat, and you're going to go the same amount of strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to go for a D flat by moving your fingers all up a string. Okay, so your first finger is now on the 4th fret of the A string, and your 3rd and 4th fingers are on the 6th fret of the D and G strings. And we're going to do 2 bars here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's put that bit together. It's going to go like this. And after that, we go back to the main riff. Okay, so with all of those parts, you can pretty much play the entire song.